Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is filing paperwork for President Trump to appear on Texas ballots during the March 3rd Republican primary. Here to talk about this is Travis County GOP Executive Director Brian Ruddle and Glenn Smith from Progress, Texas. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So, Brian, how popular is President Trump within Texas as we head into 2020?
President Trump is extremely popular for one thing and one thing only. He made promises and he delivered. The Texas economy is growing gangbusters right now, faster than any other state in the country. People are moving from all over the country to Texas because of what this president has done and what the Republican Texas model is.
Glenn, what type of challenge do you see Democrats giving Republicans in Texas during the presidential election?
Oh, I think we're going to be closer than ever. It may turn the state around in some cases, like taking the state house back from Republicans. But I think it's hard to predict a little bit because of what's going on with the impeachment hearing. And every day seems like a new revelation. For instance, today, turns out that Devin Nunes has been on the phone to the Ukrainians and the conspiracy all along without disclosing that while he sat on the hearing. The more of that happens between now and November of 2020, the better we're going to do here and around the country. It's clear.
Brian, how worried is the Texas GOP about the state turning purple or losing seats in Congress? Remember, there was the email that was sent out on accident about, the communications plan and Republicans worrying about President Trump being too polarizing.
Well, obviously, we live in a very polarized atmosphere, and I think that we expect to see a base turnout this election, and we know that Republicans, especially Trump supporters, are going to show up this cycle. Obviously, in the 2018 election, a lot of Trump voters stayed home because the president was not on the ballot. Even so, the Democrats put up their record turnout and still lost. I do not expect Texas to go blue. I do not even expect it to be purple for the next couple of election cycles. And I anticipate a much stronger election from President Trump this election cycle than we saw in the past.
Glenn, what will it take for Democrats to flip the state blue? Do you think it's possible in Texas?
It's going to take hard work. Nothing's going to come in like a cold front or a warm front with the wind. We got to make it happen. So it's work on the ground. It's accurate and disciplined messaging. I think we're getting a lot of help from Trump. I don't think most Texans agree with his obvious distaste for NATO, our allies since World War II, where either our fathers or grandfathers fought to secure. I think there's a lot of issues Trump has brought to bear, and I think Democrats got to exploit that. And local Republicans, like Dan Patrick, doing his errand by filing his primary paperwork, these local Republicans sort of kissing his shoes all the time. I think it's distasteful, and I think there will be a reaction against it in Texas.
So the impeachment inquiry has been underway for a while now, and we expect that, the impeachment articles will be put out eventually. What impact, if the president is impeached, what impact will that have on his reelection, Brian, do you think?
Well, it's been no secret that since day one, after President Trump was inaugurated, the Democrats were pushing for impeachment. Now, look at this. This is a plan by the Democrats all along just to gin up more and more dirt on President Trump, and the voters aren't buying it. We see that levels in support of impeachment are not shifting to where the Democrats need. And I believe that this will backfire on them, much like it did for Republicans when they tried to impeach President Clinton.
All right, we are out of time, but Glenn, Brian, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your perspectives with us tonight.